AF, and she trained them all here at Stinson Field.
When the U.S. entered the war, both Marjorie and Catherine applied to fly as military pilots in Europe twice. They were denied both times, but Catherine went anyway.
She couldn't fly, but she drove an ambulance, bringing wounded soldiers back from the front to the hospitals.
Dory Miller was a seaman who came from Waco, Texas, that just happened to be at the right place on the right day, or some would say the wrong place on the right day.
Doris, or Dory Miller, was a Navy cook aboard the USS West Virginia on December 7, 1941, the day the Japanese
Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Water rising over this roadway, floating cars and their drivers into that creekway. An independent analysis looks at what contributed to it and what can be done to prevent a tragedy like this happening again.
It's been a bad week for truckers at railroad crossings. We'll take a closer look at what caused those crashes and how you can stay safe.
As the government shutdown continues, the planned field trips must go on. I'm Sarah Costa. We're showing you how a local group of volunteers is stepping up to continue educating our students.
And big time weather whiplash on the way. Get ready for it. Record challenging to the coldest air yet. See you in a minute.
And we thank you so much for joining us. I am Ernie Zuniga.
And I'm Myra Arthur. KSAT is finding out new information about what led up to the deadly flooding along Beidle Creek. You might remember 11 people were killed this past June when water swept over the road that morning.
That's our Garrett Berger got a look at the report from an engineering firm that analyzed what contributed to this event and ultimately what can be done to prevent it from happening again. Garrett, so what were you able to find out?
Well, Ernie, this stretch of the 410 access road behind me, it's the part just before the bridge. That was under about 4 feet of water. Back on June 12th. Drivers on their way to work promptly in the early morning hours, surprised by the water topping over that access road, washing some of them into the creekway and downstream. Now, a new report by an engineering firm hired by the city, Kleinfelder Incorporated, goes into what may have led up to the contributing factors of that deadly flooding, and more importantly, what can be done to make sure that tragedy doesn't happen again. KSAT captured the moment water carried this car away off the 410 access road and into the channel of Beidle Creek. Surveillance video downstream saw cars bobbing by. While the San Antonio Fire Department rescued some people from trees, not everyone was so lucky. It's little surprise that Kleinfelder says rainfall was one of the primary issues, consistent, they say, with a 25-year event. That means there's a 4% chance of it happening in a given year. Though the best available modeling showed the area could get flooded, the firm says it underpredicted by how much. A big reason why is the heavy vegetation in the area wasn't taken into account enough. The report says drainage right-of-way and easements north of the access road, quote, lack clear ownership and therefore maintenance responsibility, which seemingly remains with the landowner. Also, this roadway, designed in the late 70s, was built in a sag. And Kleinfelder says there's not enough info to figure out if flooding from that creekway was considered. The proposed solutions include installing gauges and warning signs on that stretch of access road, being ready to close it when there's flooding, expanding the sensor network, and updating flood models. The big lifts, though, would actually be raising the roadway, something the city says TxDOT's open to, but would require coordination and probably years-long work. A city official also said they've contacted the 4 property owners in this area and are working with them on a vegetation maintenance program. Now, when the city hired Kleinfelder, they said that the review would include, the city manager said the review would include a look at a timeline of notifications to the public and a process and procedure review of the city's action. However, today, city official told us that would be a separate review. Live at Beidle Creek, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Hi, Garrett, thank you. Meanwhile, 2 mishaps in our area this week involving big trucks and even bigger trains, shining a spotlight on the dangers of railroad crossings.
Yeah, these were big mishaps. A crash in Schertz on Sunday and one near downtown San Antonio on Monday. Both of the big rig drivers were not hurt.
Our Katrina Weber shows us how even car drivers can steer clear of train troubles.
With loud horns and flashing lights, they announce their arrival. And when those freight trains come rumbling down the track, the last place you'd want to be is in their path. They don't look very fast, but they're
very quick
and heavy. Albert Perez has a front row view to the power of the trains. He shared brand new video caught on camera at Ace Foam Designs Monday afternoon. It shows the moment a big rig carrying high school band equipment got caught on the tracks along Carolina Street south of downtown.
And then 4 or 5 minutes after that, here come the train, and it was too late.
He says his warehouse workers had tried to call for help, but it happened too quickly. Luckily, no one was hurt. Sunday morning in Schertz, another driver got out in time before a train also slammed into his stuck big rig. But Union Pacific says truck drivers aren't the only ones who find themselves on track for trouble. Do you see crazy things on this track?
All the time. You see people trying to beat the train. You'll see the train stop. People walk between to get through it. I've seen kids trying to get to school go underneath it.
Our camera captured people in cars doing just what they shouldn't, stopping and sitting on the tracks at a red light. Union Pacific says before you even enter a railroad crossing, you should make sure there's enough space for your entire car to clear the tracks. Otherwise, stop behind the line and wait. Another bad move would be to try to beat the crossing arms or go around them when they're down.
Some people are impatient.
After what he has seen, Perez says he has all the time in the world to be safe. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Well, the defense called 2 of their own forensic experts to the stand today in the trial of 3 former San Antonio police officers accused in the 2023 killing of Melissa Perez. Day 19 of testimony just wrapped up for the day in the last 90 minutes. So this morning, 3D forensics expert Angelos Leilaglu took the stand. Now, he presented his own 3D recreation of the shooting scene. His findings show that Perez was closer to the officers when she was shot, which contradicts what was in the original police report. Then this afternoon, forensic criminologist Dr. Ron Martinelli took the stand. He testified that the actions the officers took were justified. If found guilty, Eleazar Alejandro, Alfred Flores, and Nathaniel Villalobos each face up to life in prison. We are live streaming this trial for you and will continue to do so. Testimony is expected to continue again tomorrow morning, and you can watch it live on all of our streaming platforms.
And now to an update on a story that KSAT has been following since April. Charges for 2 suspects in the death of a 14-year-old boy have been downgraded. Fernando Flores was previously charged with capital murder in the death of Simon Cuevas. According to court records, Flores has now been indicted on a 3rd-degree felony charge of injury to a child. Andrew Cantu also indicted on the same 3rd-degree felony charge. The downgrade comes weeks after 2 other suspects in the same case had their charges lowered from capital murder to assault causing bodily injury. The pair are siblings and remain in custody in juvenile detention.
One emergency call for help. An area foster care facility for children without placement is on the verge of shutting down.
The True Light Village currently houses 28 kids in foster care who may soon need a new place to go. Erica Hernandez spoke with the director of that facility about why this need is so urgent.
10 acres of property near Seguin is a place many foster children have called and currently call home. True Light Village houses and helps children without placement and emergency removals. But now they need the help.
We're at that point where we're having to make some hard decisions on whether or not we can keep the True Light Youth Village open.
Director Sandra Jason says while the facility can house more than 35 kids, they've gone down to 28. But donations have been low for the past couple of years and have now stopped.
So how much does True Light Village need? Well, right now they need about $50,000 to keep them afloat, but there are other necessities like this playground. The kids cannot play on it because there is no mulch, and that is not something that they could afford.
Changes have happened and inflation came, so you just kind of add all of these things together. We really depend on the community to help us care for these kids out here.
And with the holidays around the corner, Sandra fears the children won't have a place to celebrate.
They already couldn't find a home, or else they wouldn't be here. So it's hard to get to the point of having to make those choices because these kids so desperately need people to say yes to them.
A call for help has been blasted on True Light's social media pages in the last day, and so far just under $4,000 has been donated. If you want to help, we have a link to their website on KSAT.com. Just search for True Light Village. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at traffic out there during the 6 o'clock commute. I-37 at Hackberry. This backup has been pretty consistent since 5 o'clock over the last hour or so. This is that lane approaching I-10 as it heads toward that interchange. So just a backup in this one lane here along I-37.
Well, federal parks are still closed as a result of the government shutdown, but a group of volunteers are stepping up to make sure that school field trips to our historic missions can continue.
Sarah Acosta spoke with the volunteers who are making it all possible.
And I'm going to take you around to see our facility. Are you ready?
Tours through San Antonio's Mission San Jose for hundreds of 4th and 7th graders would have been canceled because of the government shutdown.
And then we're going to go into the church.
But thanks to a group of volunteers, the show goes on.
They're scheduled in advance. The conservation pays for these trips to bring school groups in, and once they arrive, they greet them, welcome them, and then they're taken in, and the tours are usually conducted by the rangers.
Mission San Jose is one of the many federal parks that's been closed since the shutdown, furloughing the park rangers who run the site.
Hi. You might find a parking spot right in the front. Notice the empty park ranger spots, only to walk up and find out that the visitor center is gated and locked.
But thanks to a little coordination with the Archdiocese of San Antonio and the Professional Tour Guide Association of San Antonio,
and that dome that's way up there,
along with the Conservation Society of San Antonio, that pays for these trips.
Life here was kind of hard.
These students get to continue to learn their Texas history.
They would ring the bells in the morning.
We have the church who's being cooperative, and they're opening the gates so that these kids are not disappointed when they arrive that they are getting a tour.
If you look in that direction,
the volunteers running the tours, who are dedicating their time, say it's all worth it.
Do you know what country they came from?
Spain.
Absolutely.
I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
I want you to notice, this is the area where the priest gets.
There are thousands of backlogged cases at the Bexar County Criminal Investigations Lab. I've already told you this week about the Firearms Division, the Drug Seizures Division. But what's going on with the DNA cases? You're going to find out coming up.
Also still ahead, we know airports across the country could soon be feeling the impact of the ongoing government shutdown. Some already are. After the break, we're going to check in with our Pashana Pope. She tells us what travelers here in San Antonio can expect.
A city council member says tens of millions of dollars worth of funding could be at risk if TxDOT pulls that funding over a crosswalk controversy. We'll bring you the very latest coming up tonight on the Night Beat.
A growing memorial for a mother murdered and her unborn child. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, her family's reaction to one of the suspects arrested in this case having their charges dismissed.
All right, well, happening right now, Catholic Charities and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is hosting a food distribution for active duty military members and federal employees. It's happening at the St. Stephen's Care Center until 7 o'clock, so you got about 45 more minutes. If you go, be sure to have your federal ID in order to receive a pre-packaged bag of food. And this is a first-come, first-serve event while supplies last. All right, I want to take a live look right now at some of the bigger airports around the country. For example, San Francisco, you see LAX there in Atlanta.
Hundreds of flights could be canceled nationwide as a result of the government shutdown starting tomorrow. That's when airlines are going to cut the number of flights across the country due to the shortage of air traffic controllers because of this continuing shutdown. So what could happen here in San Antonio?
Yeah, that is the question. Pashada Pope is live at San Antonio International. And Pashada, I guess, again, the question is, are any flights being cut from our airport locally?
Ernie and Myra, right now, San Antonio International Airport is not on the list to see its number of flights reduced. But officials say travelers could see an impact when they arrive at other airports. Now, while SAT is not on the list, DFW, Dallas Love Field, Bush, Houston Intercontinental, and Houston Hobby airports here in Texas are. Now, with the holidays coming up fast, a lot of people may have already bought tickets or still need to buy tickets. A travel agent we spoke with said she's telling her clients to buy travel insurance, review what is or isn't covered, have a backup plan in place before leaving, and consider other ways of traveling, such as by train or car. And on top of that, she says keep a record of every dime you spend if your flight is canceled or delayed.
Keep all the travel documents, all the travel receipts, so that when you come back, if you need to file a claim with travel insurance, you have all that with you already. And make copies and keep some for yourself.
Now, as mass cancellations loom, KillPack says knowing some relaxing techniques could come in handy for those possible tense situations at the ticket counter. That way, travelers and airport employees can stay calm and find solutions. Now, we do want to let you know that if you do have tickets to fly out this weekend, some airlines are allowing passengers to cancel for a refund or rebook at no charge. So you'll need to check in with your airlines. Here at the airport, Pashada Pope, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Pashada, thank you. Oh, so many people are going to need so much patience.
Calming techniques, like she said.
Yeah, calming techniques.
Sure.
I have some breathing exercises you can do for that. It's true.
All right, very good.
Box breathing is the best when it's 4 count in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and then you keep doing that.
Do this over in the weather center?
No, I have not.
Some days.
Pay attention.
Some days you'll walk in and he's.
Oh.
Yeah, it's more intense though. Other times I've held my breath in between sometimes for almost 3 minutes. I've gotten.
Wait a minute now. Don't be faint passing out on us here now.
Okay. Back to our weather whiplash. Okay. I can go on and on. I can get on tangents so easily.
No.
Right, shocking. Okay, look at the weather whiplash coming our way. Upper 80s Friday and Saturday, then we're down in the low to mid 60s for highs by Sunday and Monday. That's the warmest we're going to get, Sunday and Monday. Today, we had 80s to near 90 across the state, 83 here in town. The cold air has yet to really move in to the lower 48, but it's brewing in Canada right now. Check this out. Temperatures in the single digits and even right at 0 degrees up in the Arctic Circle. Of course, that's very far north. And technically speaking, this is the polar vortex that's dropping southward. There's the upper level low that's going to pull that colder air southward. And this is unseasonably cold air, well below average for this time of year. The core of it's going to be around the Great Lakes and the Midwest, but we'll still be on the receiving end of colder temperatures, and then we quickly rebound. So basically, it's 2 days of noticeably colder conditions, and then temperatures quickly jump back up. So I guess a little for everybody. But notice we'll be a good 15 degrees below average for the eastern half of the country because of that cold air plunging southward with the polar vortex. Monday morning, waking up, going to work and school, in the 30s, 37 in San Antonio, even nearing the freezing mark in parts of the hill country. So Monday and Tuesday, we're in the 30s, and then we warm back up. Also, very windy transition on Sunday. We're talking wind gusts 45 miles per hour with that cold front. That introduces the fire danger with the really dry air. So tomorrow morning, more of the same. A little bit of fog to start the day at 59, sunny and 81 at noon, 88 the high temperature, and that would tie the record high for the day tomorrow. 91 in Pleasanton, 90 Floresville, mid-90s as you get down toward Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, and even over toward the Rio Grande and Del Rio. You'll notice Saturday, the record is 90. We're expecting 88. So record challenging warmth again Saturday. Then Sunday before sunrise, the cold front hits and the wind is going to pick up immediately. The kind of cold front that just slaps you when it arrives. And notice Sunday, Monday, low to mid 60s for high temperatures. Mornings down in the 30s. So jacket weather Monday and Tuesday mornings. But then we do quickly rebound. So you could argue a little something for everybody. Newest drought monitor is in, a comparison coming right up at 6:45.
All right, Adam, thank you. 4 months after the devastating Hill Country floods, and the search and recovery efforts have not ended. Next, here on the news at 6 o'clock, Patty Santos introduces us to the canine units that are part of that process. This week marks 4 months since the historic Hill Country floods. The bodies of 2 people are still missing, Jeffrey Ramsey and Seal Stewart.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife game wardens, including canine teams, were among the first on the scene. And our Patty Santos checked in with them during their first post-flood training to see what's different.
Dustin Fleming. I'm a Texas game warden, and I'm a canine handler, and this is my partner Piper, and she's 3 years old.
On July 4th, Dustin Fleming and Piper were not far from Hunt.
Hit's very close to home, 21 miles away from Kerrville. I got the call early that morning, and we responded.
For 5 days, they did what they're trained to do, search for people trapped or lost.
It was the worst thing that we've ever seen.
Other game warden, canines, and handlers soon followed them.
We were there starting from the second day on through the fourth day. And as a live find dog,
there was a lot of debris fields, large debris fields, 20, 30 feet tall. She had to work kind of through all of that.
One section of the river, I think we covered about 8 miles of river.
There was hope of live finds early on. After a few days, that changed, and so did their assignment.
We all took a lot away from Kerrville.
At their most recent training, the dogs are focusing on learning a new skill, like pushing past a unique roadblock.
We want the dogs to know that even if water's barricading them from the target, which is a missing person, we want them to be able to cross it or learn how to find their way around it.
Getting in different training areas, maybe finding those areas where there are large debris piles, working through that, and creating a realistic environment to where those skill sets are applicable to the next tragic event that takes place in Texas.
And that was Patty Santos there reporting from the Hill Country once again. All right, so we look ahead to Monday the 10th, and our KSAT community partners are teaming up with the San Antonio Food Bank and Meals on Wheels. From 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., we'll be collecting food and resources to help local families impacted by the ongoing government shutdown. The donation drive is happening at Pinstack, the location at Loop 410. You're also encouraged to bring pet food. Anyone who donates will receive a $5 game card from Pinstack, and we hope you can help us out again next Monday.
Well, the weekend is almost here, and after the break, we are talking things to do in San Antonio and Puro Picks with Stephanie Guerra. We'll be right back.
Bottom of the hour now, and this week on Connect with the Council, I am literally getting in the ring with District 5's Terry Castillo. She's a Burbank High School alum, and she has spent her entire life on the West Side. And she wanted to chat at Angels Boxing Club, which is the same gym that produced San Antonio's first ever world champion boxer, the late Robert Quiroga.
I think it's important to highlight that work that District 5 and the coaches here produce champions in our community, and it tells the story of how residents of District 5 continue to fight for justice, continue to fight for sport, and they are exemplary when they do it as well.
Castillo has been fighting for D5 since 2021 and recently began her final 4-year term as councilwoman. So far, she has led over $90 million worth of infrastructure investment in her community and touts investments in local parks as a way to improve overall public safety.
We're keeping our kids off of the street in a productive sport, in a safe environment, and keeping them off of the streets from doing something maybe they shouldn't do. And I think by continuing to invest in the needs and those basics can help, create safer communities.
So you've essentially lived here your whole life?
Yes, I'm a lifelong and generational resident
never left
of District
San Antonio?
5. No, had the opportunity to, but decided to stay here, and I wouldn't have it any other way. A world in which I do leave, I will always come back because this is home.
And so why have you chosen to stay here all this time?
Because it's where my family and community, and it's where we have a lot of work to do, right?
She actually put the gloves on and we were sparring, so we'll find that video at some point.
Okay, show me the outtakes.
I just told her not the face, please, because as you know, Stephanie, the face is the moneymaker, right?
This is the moneymaker.
Okay.
Yes, Stephanie.
You got to keep your hands up here.
I'm trying to. Poodle picks. It's time for Poodle picks. The gloves are down. There will be no fighting here. Just talking about some fun events leading up to this weekend and into Veterans Day.
Yeah, into beautiful weather, Adam said.
That's right. Okay, let's start off with ThriftCon. What is this about?
I think this is really a really cool event. Like, thrifting is so hot right now, y'all.
My son absolutely loves it.
Everybody is thrifting. They're looking for vintage clothing. So this is for you on Saturday morning. You do got to get up early, though, if you want to get the best stuff.
Yeah.
ThriftCon is a traveling event. It's coming to the Freeman Coliseum on Saturday. They will have vintage clothes, collectibles. If you go in early at the early bird, you can buy by the pound, $10 a pound, all kinds of clothes and things that you want. And then if you want to sleep in a little bit, 10 a.m. But really cool event. They have a ton of local San Antonio vendors that normally are at pop-ups. And then of course they have our favorite thrift stores, but just going to be a really cool event to go shop at. Shop secondhand. We love that.
Yeah.
Save some money at the same time. Us parents with kids appreciate
we need
that.
right now.
Okay, on to it. It says Avery Sunshine at the Carver Community Center, a Grammy winner.
Yes, I'm so excited for Avery Sunshine to be here, right in the heart of the East Side at the Carver Community Center. She's a Grammy-winning artist, songstress, pianist, composer, just amazing overall musician. The tickets do start at $40, but definitely always worth a great cause at the Carver. The money goes back into restoring the building and keeping it up with the programming for the community. This is part of their 25-26 season. Doors are at 8. The music starts at 8, so you got plenty of time to enjoy the warm weather we'll be having in the sunshine, right?
I get it. I get what you did there.
I see what you did there.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here of something else happening. This is on Sunday, not Saturday, but something else at the Carver Community Center that you wanted to make sure we highlight.
Yes, so it's Veterans Day this coming week, right? And we celebrate in Military City, USA.
Absolutely.
We love our veterans and our armed forces here. So this is a hometown premiere screening of a documentary called American Sons. They are having a red carpet screening at the Carver. It starts at 1:30 p.m. It is a powerful documentary exploring the enduring impact of war on U.S. veterans and their families. And this specifically hits home because it is about a San Antonio military officer who lost his life and his family that lives here with the day-to-day.
I've seen it, by the way.
After that? Okay, you have seen it.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, so this is the hometown screening, red carpet, and it's actually the full edition of the documentary, so it's a little bit longer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm super excited for them. They have some big announcements of where this will be on TV, online, later this year.
Bring tissue, by the way.
Yes,
you're saying.
American Sons is the documentary.
Don't miss it. You can still RSVP.
Yeah.
Go to the Carver's website. My friend Andrew Gonzalez is one of the filmmakers, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful movie that everyone deserves to see.
Very powerful.
And honor our veterans and honor everyone that we lost in the military.
Yeah.
Thank you
Amen
for
to
letting me
that.
talk about that.
No, because I was struck by how, and I won't give anything away, but how they still stay in touch.
Yes.
And you mentioned they're mourning their brother that was lost and everything. It's very powerful and
Yeah.
highly recommend it.
There was so much to celebrate, as you mentioned,
yes.
in Military City, USA. So here was another Veterans Day event, this one happening at Hemisphere.
We're rewinding to Saturday. At Hemisphere, we are celebrating, this is now their 5th annual Veterans Day celebration in the park. They're starting it with something new this year. There's a free fun run at 9 a.m. And then you can join the presentation of colors and a flyover at 1 p.m. So if you're in the downtown area, you'll be able to see that. It's from 10 to 6 and it's free all day. But I just love that we can celebrate, again, Military City, USA in the heart of downtown. And it's going to be a beautiful day there. And that event is new and growing. So tell everybody that you know to go enjoy that event so it can keep getting bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, very cool.
Beautiful. All right, let's stay with Saturday the 8th. Briscoe Western Museum, Yanaguana Indian Arts Festival.
Yes, I love this festival that the Briscoe holds. Another great event, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're celebrating Native American art, dance, and culture, and it's free. And so I love that. You get to see the music, the art, right in the heart of the Riverwalk, where our indigenous cultures and tribes, started San Antonio. Yanaguana is the river, right? This is San Antonio. So a great way to celebrate at the Briscoe. And I love that they have this event also on an annual basis.
Okay, last one up here, Ohm Fest. What is that all about?
I think we could all use a little chill, right? Yes. So local organization Mobile Ohm, they are a yoga company. They are having their 3rd annual Ohm Fest at Confluence Park. It's going to be beautiful weather. Again, I just love that Adam gave us this good blessing of beautiful weather for the weekend. Maybe a little chilly, but a full day of mindfulness. They will have family-friendly events every hour. They have different programming. So I think there's puppy yoga. There's all kinds of fun yoga events. But it's really just a community event. If you have never done yoga before, this is a great time to try it. If you're an expert, go meet new people. I love the people that are behind Mobile Ohm. And it's just a really great experience for everyone of all ages and all experience levels with yoga. But I think it's going to be a really perfect
Who couldn't use a little more calm
and
in their life?
If you're off Monday, even better for you. Just take a chill, relaxing weekend in San Antonio.
All right, Stephanie, always appreciate you being here, giving us a rundown of all the local things happening.
Thanks for having me back. Yeah.
Very good.
Happy weekend.
Indeed. Same to you.
Almost weekend, yes.
Okay,
for sure.
Awesome. Okay, very good. 6:37 right now. We continue on with a symbol of pride that is definitely caught up in a legal battle right now. The rainbow crosswalk on Main Street, ordered by Governor Abbott to be removed. But now moves are being made to try to keep it right there in place. We're going to explain and get you caught up right after the break.
The city of San Antonio is trying to keep the rainbow crosswalks that are in the city's Pride District off of Main there. It's filed an exemption with TxDOT for this. So KSAT got a copy of that request. Toward the beginning of October, Governor Greg Abbott sent a directive saying that intersections and crosswalks should not have political messages or artwork. The city is asking for clarity on that now, saying they would like to know what laws or regulations TxDOT is using to back up this new directive.
All right, let's take a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC Primetime at 7 o'clock. It is 911, followed by an episode of 911 Nashville at 8. Then at 9, it is Grey's Anatomy. And after that, we invite you to join us for the Night Beat.
Look outside with live cam. Up and down we go for the next several days. We are really kind of just watching the temperatures to fall, Adam.
Oh, watching the thermometer on this Thermometer Thursday. Hey, thank you for that.
Well,
it's good change here. Have some sound effects for Therm Thurs. And actually, it's something I have. This is a first for me in thermometer history. This is very interesting. Anyway, look at our morning low temperatures. Warm Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings. The front hits Sunday morning, but still 58. And then by Monday, back to work, back to school, we're in the 30s. A brief chill Monday and Tuesday. Talk about the drought monitor and its changes in a bit.
All right, so what is going on with the DNA cases? It's our final story this week about backlogs at the Bexar County Criminal Investigation Lab.
Our Courtney Friedman found out there were cases backed up in all 3 divisions of that lab, and she's looked into each one of those, starting with firearms, then drug seizures. Well, tonight she's focusing on DNA cases that need to be analyzed.
If DNA from a crime scene in Bexar County needs to be analyzed, it's sent here to the Bexar County Criminal Investigation Lab. Cases that affect public safety are prioritized, like we saw recently when a suspect was arrested in 63-year-old Stacy Dramiga's murder case. But hundreds of other cases that aren't at the top of the list are backlogged.
It is the first time in years the county has given the media this information. This is the backlog of DNA cases at the crime lab. We asked for 5 years of data and we made this graph. The most obvious point clearly right here. This is June of 2022 when it spikes. So I got to ask the lab director what happened.
June 2022 is when we switched technologies. We changed our analysis technique. It's very consistent across the board. There's a reason that's the best recommendation, but that also takes longer.
Lab Director Orrin Dim says it now takes 6 weeks to test each piece of evidence. That's a problem when it comes to backlog, since the federal definition is any case unworked after 30 days.
That 30-day definition is baked into federal grants and how everything's been done, so it's not changing. So technically, every DNA case is going to be backlogged.
But there is another reason for the spike, and that's staffing. The county gave them more employees to tackle the backlog. But in January 2025, these numbers start rising again. Turns out the lab lost 3 employees, so adding staff became the answer again.
For October, we're coming back down again, and our backlog dropped from 388 to 349, and we expect that trend to continue to accelerate.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
I want to talk drought monitor here. This is important. Now let's look at last week's drought monitor, and especially to keep an eye on these red areas, the extreme drought. Now we fast forward to this week and you see how it's expanded eastward a little bit. So the drought has worsened a little bit since last week. Of course, the drought monitor updated every Thursday. About 40% of Texas considered in drought right now. The worst of it, of course, right here in our backyard and down near Big Bend National Park and parts of West Texas there. Unfortunately, not even a glimmer of hope or a sliver of an opportunity for rain anytime soon. We still have the upper level high. Even though that's breaking down, it has kept this disturbance that's been over the Gulf, dumping rain over the open water. It's kept it away from us. Otherwise, it would have been an ideal system to drift westward. And the rainfall potential going forward, very bleak. I mean, we're looking at the corners, the northern corners of the lower 48, northeast, even the mid-Atlantic, and then parts of the Pacific Northwest. Honestly, it's going to be hard to even make a cloud for most of the days of the next 7 to 10. Tomorrow and Saturday, upper 80s, right near 90 for high temperatures. That's record challenging territory. And then the whiplash. We've been talking about this. Sunday, the warmest we'll get is 65, and Monday, the warmest we'll get is 63. As I've been saying, that really cold air, not in the lower 48 yet. It's still brewing up in Canada, the source region, just sitting and chilling, literally and figuratively. And our friends in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, at 30 degrees right now, but single-digit temperatures in the core of that cold air that's going to be plunging southward, and it's unusually cold air for this time of year as it drops southward. Of course, it's going to modify a little bit, but the core of the cold air is going to be just to the east of us, Midwest, and even parts of the Great Lakes. We'll be close enough, though, to get clipped, and we will notice this cold front for sure. So look at this, Tuesday. We're going to fast forward to Tuesday morning. We're talking 10 to 20 degrees below average. Tallahassee, Florida could actually have a freeze on Tuesday morning. Northern Florida there could see a brief light freeze. And even around here, parts of the hill country could have a brief light freeze, some nooks and crannies, both Monday morning and Tuesday morning. So a 2-day chill, and then we bounce back. The wind is going to pick up significantly. Before sunrise on Sunday, the cold front hits, and bam, it's the kind that just hits you right away, and you notice it with wind gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour, especially the first half of Sunday, but still very windy into Sunday afternoon. And that poses the fire danger because of the dry air and the gusty winds. If there were to be a fire, it would spread rapidly. Tomorrow, 59 in the morning, 81 at noon, then upper 80s near 90 in the afternoon. Cotulla up to 95, 92 Uvalde, 91 in Kerrville tomorrow. Then the bottom drops out again. Sunday's the day when the colder air moves in, the wind picks up, and we feel it, especially through Tuesday. Okay, so this past weekend I had a wedding that was actually in South Bend, Indiana, but the reception was Three Oaks, Michigan there. And we stayed at this renovated barn. So what does that have to do with Thermometer Thursday? Well, they had these antiques all over the place. And this is a first for me.
What?
This is a turkey leg thermometer.
No.
And check this out. Victorian turkey leg thermometer. And I even Googled it, and it's hard to find very many. Clearly mercury in it, and you could see the temperature scale on the left side of the turkey leg. It's something I've never seen in my life with all these antiques at this little farm that we stayed at.
That's timely.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, there's my brother, sister, brother-in-law.
Wow.
Hey. Really quickly, next week I'll be resuming the thermometer giveaway. KSAT.com/thermometer, and I'll be out live. It's the big Christmas kickoff.
Oh, that's right. All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right, we'll be back.
Dallas Cowboys are mourning the death of defensive end Marshawn Nealon. Frisco police say the 24-year-old was found dead early this morning of an apparent suicide after evading authorities in his vehicle and fleeing the scene of an accident on foot. The Cowboys released a statement saying in part that Marshawn was a beloved teammate and member of their organization. Green Bay Packers linebacker Micah Parsons, who played in Dallas with Nealon last season, posted this on Instagram. "I'm sorry, little brother. I hope you find peace," along with a heart and 2 broken heart emojis. Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama scored 19 points in the Spurs 118-116 loss at the Lakers last night. He shot 5 of 14 from the field to go with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. He fouled out late in the fourth quarter. Now, this is the second straight game that he struggled because both the Suns and the Lakers threw just about everything at him defensively.
Because of how good of a player he is, team trying to take him out of the game. I mean, nobody's really going to guard us regularly with a 5 on him anymore. So I mean, we understand that. We know guys are going to send to him once he gets to his spot. So, I mean, the more games that we have with it, the more film we'll be able to watch on it. But we'll get better at it.
Jeremy Sohan made his season debut last night. He scored 16 points off the bench.
It's great to see him, Kelly, and Lindy. We needed him, obviously, tonight. His energy, defensive presence was awesome. And it was just good to have guys back.
The Spurs will host the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 6:30 in an NBA Cup group game. San Antonio will have its Emirates court down at the Frost Bank Center. And coming up tonight at 7 on KSAT Sports Now, we'll have more Spurs and Lakers, a Texas A&M football preview, BGC and Game Day, Inside the Ring, and much more streaming on KSAT Plus. Thanks for joining us tonight.